Welcome back to the Who's the Best European Tournament. We are now settling ourselves into the first match of Group B. The other two members of this map, or sorry, of this group, of course, are Thermal and Harstum. I'm really excited to see who gets out of this group alive. We get some stories to tell and some things leading into this, but let's hop into these intros to kick this off. Spawning here in the bottom right corner of the map, accompanying his teammate. Against him, it is going to be the blue Terran player Marinelord. Representing Millennium, sorry.
In the upper left aisles, the red Zerg. It is Millennium's Vortix.
Okay, so the team kill aspect of here is kind of cool, but let's be honest, it's like nerdy at best, and no one really cares about the whole team kill aspect. But they do have to kind of avenge Daishi. Like, one of these guys has to get out of this group. Vortix and Harstum have got to be my favorites coming into this, hands down. But we just had not one, but like a double upset in Group A. So at this point, like, anything's possible, right? Marinelord is a fantastic player, and Thermal is surprisingly good. I can't wait to see how this group plays out, because this could very well be another upset.
Yeah, definitely. Vortex just barely making out of his WCS group yesterday or the day before.
Did I tell you what Harstum said about this, by the way?
No.
Okay, so for those who don't know, originally Snoot was slotted to play against Vortix. We had set this up months and months ago, but the WEC conflict came much later. And I told everyone in the group, I notified them, like, just so you guys are aware, Snoot had to withdraw, you know, he's being replaced by Vortix, so you're not, like, on the day of, like, WTF is this? Vortix is like, or sorry, Harstum was like, poor Vortix. I was like, why? He's like, well, first he has to lose to me in WCS, then he has to lose to me in your tournament. Poor guy.
Oh, yeah.
I love Harstum, he's full of confidence, I think is what we'll call it. But, okay, so this series, I don't know, TVZ, really good. Vortix is TVZ, though, really good. What do you think about this?
Okay, I was gonna bring up something else, but I'll keep it in my pocket for later. What was the question?
What were you gonna bring up? That's fine.
It's like, it's kind of off topic. It's StarCraft 2, but it's off topic, so just ask me a question again.
Oh, I was just asking, like, you know, we've seen Vortix's TVZ or ZVT be fantastic. What are your thoughts on it?
Oh, you know, I really, sorry, I don't really, like, know a whole lot about Vortix. Like,
what?
I think, yeah, I knew more about him, I guess, when he was actually, like, maybe, like, a couple of months ago, maybe? Yeah, I honestly don't remember. I don't, like, know a lot about Vortix, except that he's just, like, one of the best foreigner Zergs, or foreign players, out there.
You know, actually, it's funny, when you go back through, like, history of, like, play styles, you could spot a lot of the really good foreign Zerg players, not because they were, like, willing to try roaches when others weren't or anything like that, but, like, Heon, Snoot, Vortix, like, these are the guys who have at some point in their career made, like, the 3-digit number worth of banlings at some point.
Oh, okay. See, today I learned.
I'm just saying, it's kind of funny when you think back to, like the best foreigners are the ones who've been, like, going full ham in the past TVZ with, like, the crazy banling strats, but of course, long and gone is, like, the time where that was the only strategy. We're seeing players like Snoot evolve the matchup with Swarm hosts. We're seeing players like Vortix who are willing to do Roach Hydra when given the opportunity. I really have no idea how he plans to play against Marinelord, because when you come into this, like, it's a teammate, and there is that extra thought process of, like, look, this guy knows how I play when it's standard, so do I come into the standard?
Yeah, well, they haven't been teammates for very long, and it's always, you know, the question of, do they really play against each other? It's always a question about team houses. Is it more 1v1 ladder, or is it more customs? So it's really hard to say. I mean, I think we got our first good look at someone who actually does practice a lot with the person they're facing when Flash faced Zest.
Oh my god.
Like, that was the only time where I was like, I really was 100% convinced one player just knew the other player because they were teammates. You know, every time we bring it up, yeah, they're teammates. Maybe they do a couple of practice games together. Maybe they talk about strats a little bit, but it's never like one person hard counters the other because they're teammates. Until that one, that was pretty sick. So I don't really know. I feel like Marinelord's CVT or TVZ is really good. Vortex CVT, is it one of his best? God, I can't remember. You know, I'm gonna look it up.
Well, Marinelord has got a bunker up in the main, so this really won't be too problematic at the front door. It's something you're always a little bit scared of, but I'm surprised. Usually you see this where the barracks is placed, you know, swapped out, but the bunker actually placed behind this will force a lot of banelings to be used, if that's the case, to bust through. But Vortix, got some creep spread going already. He's doing one thing though, and this is kind of key because we don't see a lot of Zerg players do this. He's already got a creep tumor connecting his natural to the main. So many times we see that gap of creep here, and it's so painful watching queens trying to respond to drops or slowlings or hydras get up this. But with that creep spread, he's actually good to go. And oddly enough, he actually can't scout his own creep. I didn't know that.
So he's actually number 3 non-Korean on Aligulak. His matchups are actually insane. You know, they're all above 60%. His worst is actually versus Zerg, and his best is versus Protoss by 0.01% from Terran. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that his versus Terran is actually going to be pretty solid.
Okay, something to explain here because people are going to get over this. I know it's Vortix, like you're trying to speak like a New Zealand accent, guys, but just due to dialect, when I'm talking fast, it's going to come out as Vortex. So I'm fully aware and I'm not ignorant to the fact that it's Vortix, but it's going to slip a couple of times. So keep your panties untwisted, alright?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Untwisted.
Okay, so later on the way, Baneling Nest coming out. We're going to have that speed at a pretty nice timing. That is kind of the scariest thing, though. When you do see like Banelings made to hold off pushes, it's usually like, oh, these are slow Banelings on creep. Congratulations for trying.
Yeah. Marinelord got a really nice economical lead in the beginning. I mean, 14 CC, get a very early third. So he's feeling pretty good. He's going to really skyrocket forward when it comes to that medevac push a little bit later on. But we are just going to have like a down good macro TVZ. That's always the fun ones. You know what I was actually thinking about, like when you asked me about Vortix? I was like, wait, I'm thinking, do we ever like note a Terran who has especially bad TVZ?
I would say
like it's like the matchup
versus
really?
Vortix. Yes.
Oh, okay. No, that's player versus player. That's not even.
Right, but like, those are always funny because like it wasn't even it's like Henry versus Massa, or sorry, Hendrilsk versus Massa. Like it's just like the matchup goes out the window when it comes to like certain players.
Yeah. But I just like keep thinking like TVZ is almost like a given that the Terran's gonna be kind of good at it, and not because they're overpowered before everyone starts going lol Widow Mines. Just like it just seems to be like, I guess, like I don't know. I can't think of one. I'm like, wow, that guy is especially bad TVZ. I can't think of a person.
You know what? You're right, because a lot of times it does come down to the player versus the player. Like, you'll see players like Froz dominate Tefl, but not a lot of other Zerg players and stuff like that. So, I guess really depends. But Helen's getting caught out here. He does see the Banelings though, and this is kind of key. So he now knows it's not gonna be like Roach Hydra or something. Of course, Marinelord playing somewhat limited on vision. Nimbus isn't a horrible map for Roach Hydra because there are a lot of concave options. But let's be honest, if you've got creep spread and speed Banelings, and you're someone like Vortix who knows how to control them, you're probably gonna be good to go.
That stim actually looks kind of late. It's 11 minutes. Usually you're starting on combat shields. Oh well, it's gonna finish and he's gonna use it. Like it's fine, no problem, big deal. He does push out with 2 medevacs loaded up, drops in the center of the map, drops on the other side, takes care of an overlord. Interesting decision to do with your first 2 medevacs. Some people do like to go for these drops, some people just go like the beat up creep automatically, and Marinelord does both.
Goes towards the lead. Meanwhile, spreading up a lot of, killing a lot of creep here in the middle of the map. Does keep this Marines alive that went for the drop of the natural, so kind of good in that regard. But now the Mutalisks are finally on the way. These free drops are about to cease.
Yeah. He did clear up a lot of creep. That was really good creep clearing. And even continuing to do so. If you can get all these live tumors, can't.
It's a Baneling hit, I guess, isn't too bad. I mean, technically trading 1 Marine for a Baneling or 2 is always nice, but it's not something you really see a lot of because a lot of players don't want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it was more about having that drop up in the air and flying around than it was about killing the Banelings. Heavy supply block from Marinelord. It's a punch in the gut, like seriously. Has to call down supply to actually fix it. Builds 5 more. He will be going for the blue flame Hellbat style though.
You know what? I just realized I've messed up this group a little bit. I'll talk about it. It's like nothing devastating is going to change outcomes, but yeah, this push coming down the middle of the map is got a lot of blue flame Hellbats coming. Well, soon to be blue flame Hellbats behind this. Yep. If you can keep these Marines alive for the Mutalisks, I mean that's all that matters. The Hellbats will soak the Baneling hits. They'll kill a lot of Banelings too. They'll certainly wipe the Zerglings out.
In a straight up macro game, Marinelord is up by 12 supply versus Zerg player at 1330. It's pretty good so far. Vortix is actually transitioning fairly fast into an infestation pit, so I imagine just straight up to Hive for his 3-3. But, I mean, is now really the time? He's actually having some difficulty holding on to his fourth.
Of course, here as well, the Beetles will not be utilized so well. The Torque also soak a lot of these Baneling hits, but the Marine's not quite spreading. Ones at the back are going to take some damage. Clumped up here in the front also take a couple of bad hits, but they stay alive, so the Medivacs will heal these up. And oh, for Vortix, that was a big waste of a lot of Banelings.
Yeah. Ran out of his splash unit, though. Oh, well, I didn't even notice there was a tank.
Yeah, like, when did that get
I was wondering. I was like, oh, I guess
Surprise!
I misheard that tank splash sound, but no, there was a tank right there. So Marinelord did not run out of the splash. He had just that one tank just in time to help against those Banelings, and will continue to push forward. And Vortix, he's actually out of Banelings? He used all the Banelings in his attack. He has to morph in new ones. Oh, and he's out of gas. Oh my god.
He's definitely going to get the base. Nicely done. The Mutalisk count still stands at 5, though. That's what really scares me about most of this. The Banelings being gone really sucks, sure, but I mean, what are 5 mutas going to do, right?
Yeah, Marinelord's just looking so powerful. Like, nothing happened in this game. Okay, Marinelord got away with a 14 CC, which is a big boost in economy, that's true. But other than that, nothing happened. And he's just, like, straight up, like, playing against Vortix. It's,
well, I mean, one of the things is
winning.
he chose to go for Blue Flame over Widowmines as well. Something I don't think Vortix was necessarily anticipating.
With a lot of Hellbats, it seems to be the style preferred from Zerg players. Is actually going to have as many Banelings as possible. But Vortix never really had a humongous gas intake. You know, he's only had 5 mutas. His 4th obviously died, but like his gas guys died way before that too. And that's really limiting him in what he could do.
And Marinelord taking his 4th now too. He's in a really comfortable spot.
Yeah, the supplies are even, but the okay, maybe with the surround.
Yeah, he's waiting. He's waiting, buying his time. Where's Marinelord going to go?
Oh, let's half your army. What are you doing? Oh, half the army attacked. The other half just lags behind. Yeah. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's okay.
Maybe the Banelings can get some good connects. They got to walk through this though. It's going to take absolute control. Good. I mean, wipes out a lot of the Marines, but it's not. I don't think it was enough.
Yeah, a couple more Banelings trickling in here, but again, off of creep. Vortix. His creep never got far enough to protect his 4th bases. You know, this one or the other one.
He's just bleeding out at this point. Drone's being pulled back off this. The other base was never rebuilt, only just now being placed down. So loses yet another hatchery.
I know it doesn't look like a stomp. Like, everything's just been standard very so far, but like, it's just like Marinelord is doing.
No, Marinelord's a fantastic player. Like, I've been following him in his career ever since he was on Against All Authority.
Oh, he's really good, but so does Vortix. Yeah. You know, that's the real shocker.
I wouldn't have expected this game to go so heavily in his favor. Like, I thought this would have been a lot more back and forth.
Yeah. So it's like, it's not like, you know, 100 supply to 162 quite yet, but realistically, Marinelord is in like a dominating position, and only by doing something that you would do, like if you were practicing a build order. You know, it's like, okay, everything is going perfectly. I don't have to worry about counterattacks. I didn't lose any SCVs. This is exactly how I would play against an AI when I'm practicing.
Blue Flame Hellbat's doing a great job kiting around this. The Zerglings, of course, are what make Banelings connect, but the Zerglings are a little bit behind the Banelings, so too late to the party. 2 Banelings remain, might be able to kill a couple of these. Medivacs being driven back in Vortix. Wow! Not only holds, but pushes Marinelord back.
For now. It is still a big problem that he does not have a 4th base up. Now he's actually mineral starved as opposed to gas starved, so he will be able to morph in a lot more Banelings than he's had previously. Maybe his mute account, which, you know, it was getting up there, but it's back down to 9. He has no counterattack potential, and it's really a bummer about this game.
So, interestingly enough, what I was going to say is the way we had scheduled a lot of these matches was we had the 2 invitees play against each other first, and the 2 qualified players play against each other first. This is the only group where it's not like that, because I forgot we had to swap Bly and Snoot, and then after that, Snoot had to drop the tournament and get replaced by Vortix. So this is the only one where, because it was, you throw him on Marinelord that qualified, right? Not, oh no, that's right, never mind, I take this all back. Either way, it doesn't have 2 qualified players playing against each other, because of the way things got messed up, so. Just a fun fact about this matchup, you know?
Well, things have calmed down a little. Good counterattack set up here. Vortix is still kind of carrying on in supply. The upgrades have finished from Marinelord, though, and without creep spread, Vortix is going to keep on taking these really terrible engagements. Ling counterattack tries to go by, but they are blocked. Very good.
Hellbat's so good at dealing lots of damage to Lings in mass quantities, no less. This bunker with only 2 Marines in it, holding very well. Vortix just can't get any counterattack damage done. Behind this, he built some more mutas, but you know he's just not had a lot of gas intake ever since he lost that 4th. It's never really been something he's been able to sustain, so his muta count's been low for the entire game.
Yeah. And then the choice is like the mass banelings that can potentially squash the Terran, or more mutas, which can potentially deal a lot of, counterattack damage. It's a hard decision to make when you're on limited gas.
Yeah, plus you don't really know to see if you have like 5 Thors, 2 Thors, more Marines, more Marauders. It's a hard guesstimate to make.
Yeah, I just constantly fighting off the creep is really gonna be tough for Vortix. He does have the infestation pit, so getting up to hide won't be as long, but it's just the gas, the minerals. He doesn't have.
I love what he does where he sandwiches. Once again, coming from 2 angles at the same time, but one angle's a little bit later. This happened the first time. It happens again.
And with the upgrade advantage now too, like complete squash, Vortix just gets
GG. Wow.
That's yeah. That's where it is all pointing to.
Well, congratulations, Marinelord takes game number 1. But once again, guys, it was game 1 and all that. So let's rock and roll. Get into game number 2 here, ASAP. Second map is going to be on King Sejong.
Okay, so I'll tell my story right now.
Okay, go for it.
All right, so I was like interested about the WEC results, and okay, Marinelord needs like 3-4 minutes anyways. And I looked at the results, and spoiler alert, guys, but Jaedong Snoot is in the winners finals, not the grand finals, the winners finals. And I'm just looking at it, I'm like, oh my god, Snoot. You're going to go up 2-0, and then you're going to get reverse swept.
No.
Sorry.
Don't
it's gonna happen.
Say something like that. Why would you?
Because that's what's happened.
You need less airtime is what you need. Holy crap. 2
times against Jaedong that happened, once against Flash, and every single time I called it and felt like a terrible person afterwards.
Every time you say something like this, I'm like, you need to not cast with me.
One day Snoot will break the curse. And everyone will rejoice. Just saying.